Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. I'm so glad you're here, Lens Legends. We get to focus here on the Portrait Profit Show on the business side of photography. I'm your host, Jim Landers, your guide on the business side. And it's my mission to help portrait photographers to uplift them in a way that causes them to make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography that's designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. This show is for those who feel they've got something to learn on the business side. So if that's you, you are in the right place. And welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. And for Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her fantastic, amazing, wonderful team are going to make you look like a hero because they are career people, not just someone looking for a job, working for minimum wage. No, these are people who love doing what they do. And it shows because their work is fantastic, because they care so much, and because you are going to look like a hero to your clients. Go to digitalprolab.com. See what Amanda and her team can do for you. You're going to be surprised. And I also want you to go to my page on landersphotoschool.com. Of course, I teach the photography side as well as the business side. I'm sure you're not surprised. And I've been doing it for quite some time, over 200 different classes that I've written over the years. And so I probably have something that is for you, but I still write every single week. I'm writing something new because there's that much to learn in this industry. It's fantastic. It's fun. It's exciting. It's invigorating. And I'm here to help. Reach out to me at jim@landersphotoschool.com and we can talk about it. Or use the go to, and let me see if I've got this handy. Well, you can go to my, here we go. Landers Photography School free business assessment. This is a 15-minute meeting, so it doesn't last long, but at least it can help you in the right direction. So you see that address right there, calendly.com. You can hit pause or you can come back to it later so you can write that in. And I have uh, a QR code for it too, so I'll put that up. There we go. So if you use your phone and photograph that, well, before you actually photograph it, it gives you a link to this. So you don't have to type it in at all. So you just take advantage of that. I encourage it. All right. Speaking of encouragement, I want to encourage you to make comments, to ask questions throughout this lesson today. I want you to go to the comments right now and enter in hashtag live. I can see a couple of you have done it already, but enter in hashtag live. So I know if you're watching us on either Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, we're simulcast to different places. And so I want to know who's watching. So if you're watching the replay, please enter in hashtag replay. But for those of you who are watching live, hashtag live. I also request that you share the Portrait Profit Show. That's how we grow the show, and it's also how the entire uh, photographer community is enhanced and bettered. Because if we're all doing things in a way that causes us to become more profitable, then that's beneficial for all concerned so that we all know what's going on, what's happening, and what causes us to get to profitability. So, do me a favor, hit that share button. Let other people know about this show. I appreciate you doing that. I want you to picture something. You've just wrapped up an incredible portrait session. You rush back, eager to cull and edit the images so you can share them with your client as soon as possible. Once done with the post production process, you craft the perfect email. Your fingers dance across the keyboard as you describe the magic of the session and attach the stunning images. You nod your head with a satisfied smile as you hit send. imagining your client's joy when they open your email. But then silence. Hours pass, a day, no response, no excitement, no text, no phone call, no social media raving. Did they not like them? Did my email vanish? Your email might be languishing in the depths of a spam folder, never to see the light of day. Or worse, it might have been devoured by the voracious spam filters that most people are completely unaware of that emails go through within the email service provider, even before it has a chance to reach the client's email program. Yeah, there's more than one email filter. You only have access to one, and that's the one that's the last one that's in your email app. Hitting send is the beginning of your email's journey. You do it with confidence that it will go where it's supposed to go. But that's not always the case. And it's frustrating when you've done all the steps. You've been excited to see your client's reaction, only to have them get upset because, from their point of view, you didn't do what you said you would do. But fear not, because Lens Legends today, we're going to illuminate that journey. We'll uncover the secrets to guiding your email safely through the labyrinth of the internet, past the guardians of the inbox, and right into the eager hands of your clients. Imagine a world where every important email that you send lands exactly where it should. A world where your clients eagerly await and instantly open your messages. A world where your stunning images, exciting offers, and heartfelt words never fail to reach their intended audience. In the next 50 minutes, I'm going to hand you the keys to unlock the secrets to getting your emails in inboxes and opened immediately. Now, if this sounds interesting to you, I want you to go to the comment section right now and type in, "Huh, I need this. I need this," in the comment section right now. I can see several of you have already started commenting. I appreciate that. By the way, if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you're here watching live. Chapter 1: The Journey of Your Email. All right, let's talk about what actually happens when you hit the send button, because it's not as easy as you might have pictured. Yep, that's kind of what happens, sort of, kind of. But sending an email is similar to sending physical mail, but of course, quite different as well, because your email goes through an entire journey. Imagine that your email is just a little package. The moment you hit send, it's like dropping that package into a massive high-tech postal system. But instead of people, sorters, trucks, planes, we're dealing with servers, internet connections, and a minimum of 2 spam filters, and actually some other types of filters, one of which that you have access to. First stop is your email provider. Whether you're using Gmail, Outlook, or on your own custom email, it doesn't matter. Your email lands there first. Like, let me make that bigger on the screen. There we go. And that's a better spot for me. You'd think of this, your email lands there first. Think of this as the local post office. They look at your package and say, "Okay, where's this headed?" But here's where it kinda gets interesting because before your email even leaves this first stop, it goes through a security check. It's like your email's going through airport security. There are things that are called SPF, DKIM, DMARC, SSL. There's others. Don't worry about those weird acronyms for now. I will share them with you later in this lesson. Just know that they're checking if you are who you say you are. It's like showing your ID before boarding a plane. If all checks out, your email starts its journey across the internet. It might hop through several servers. Think of them as different cities your package is passing through. Each stop could potentially say, "Nah, we don't like the look of this," and send it back or just delete it. But let's assume that it makes it through. Now, it arrives at your client's email provider. This is where things get tricky because this is the place that has a super strict customs office. They're on high alert for any emails that even smell slightly like spam. They check your reputation as a sender, like they're calling up your references or checking your credit report. Has this sender sent spam before? They analyze the content of your email. Are you using words that spammers often use? We'll talk about some of those in a little bit. They even look at how people have interacted with your emails in the past. Did people open them? Did they click on any links? All of this matters. Based on all these checks, they make a big decision. Inbox, spam folder, or worse, complete rejection. It's like your email is auditioning for a starring role in your client's inbox. But wait, there's more. Even if your email makes it to the inbox, it still needs to be noticed and opened. It's competing with dozens, maybe hundreds of other emails in your inbox or their inbox. What are the odds that you see? I mean, really notice every single email in your inbox. There's no chance of that. Has anyone ever asked you if you had received an email that they sent and you don't remember seeing it, but you check and voila, there it is. So when you hit send and then hear nothing but crickets, this is what's happening behind the scenes. Your email is on a wild adventure, facing challenge after challenge. But there is good news because now that you know about this journey, you can do something to positively affect it. In fact, that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. I'm going to show you how to give your emails the best chance of making it through this obstacle course and landing right where they should in front of your client's eyes. It's time to become an email delivery expert. Okay, if this sounds interesting to you, will you write "This is interesting" in the comments? Now, of course, you're welcome to tell us exactly what it is that sounds interesting, but can you just tell us at least "This is interesting" in the comments? I didn't realize I had left that up. All right, next section, chapter 2. Understanding and improving email deliverability. Now that you know the behind the scenes process, let's move right into the thick of this topic, understanding and improving email deliverability. Let me show you what factors are affecting deliverability. I'll tell you a little bit about each. There is a combination of factors that makes an email land in the inbox or get lost in the matrix. So let's talk about five of them. The first is sender reputation. That's you. Think of this as your email credit score. If you've got a good reputation, your emails are more likely to get through. The second is the email service provider's reputation. This has nothing to do with you specifically. It has to do with the other users of the same service you use. That doesn't sound fair. They have to judge it by a lot of different factors. Number three, email content. The words you use matter. I mean, they do in life. Why wouldn't they with spam filters? Spam filters are always on the lookout for suspicious content. The fourth is the technical setup, the behind the scenes configuration that helps email servers verify the legitimacy of your emails. That would be SPF, DKIM, DMARC, DMARC, reverse DNS, SLS, TLS encryption, and more. I will tell you what those mean in just a moment. And number five, recipient engagement. Another thing that doesn't seem fair since you don't control it, but how your clients interact with your emails affects future deliverability. So let's talk about some key details and some strategies. And I'll start off by talking about those technical aspects that I mentioned before, the SPF, the DKIM, etc. I mentioned those acronyms earlier. Now I'm going to briefly tell you what they are. SPF. Sunscreen? No. Well, in a way, because it does act as a block. It's just not for the sun. This is like a guest list for your domain. It tells email providers which servers are allowed to send emails on your behalf. The SPF stands for Sender Policy Framework. Sender Policy Framework. That next one I mentioned was DKIM. That stands for Domain Keys Identified Mail. Go back in history, kind of way back, and think of this as a wax seal on a letter. It proves the email hasn't been tampered with during transit. So that's what DKIM is and does. DMARC, DMARC, domain-based message authentication, reporting, and conformance. This is the bouncer that uses SPF and DKIM to protect your domain name from unauthorized use. Reverse DNS. This is a record that matches your sending IP address to your domain name. SLS and TLS encryption. These are protocols that encrypt the connection between email servers to ensure the security of your emails during transmission. All right. This is over the head of most, including myself. So don't worry if this sounds complex, because this is something that your email service provider does, or if your business is big enough, this is something your IT person would be responsible for implementing. Just remember this. They are like magical shields for your emails. Next thing I want to talk about is whitelisting. I'm hoping you heard of this, but just in case you haven't, whitelisting means adding an email address to your trusted contacts list, which is a list of approved senders. This tells the email app that messages from this address are safe and should be delivered to the inbox rather than to the spam folder or the junk folder or sometimes even the promotions folder. Unfortunately, it is not foolproof, but it is something that we need to ask our clients to do. And I will talk more about that because that is a solid way of helping your emails wind up in the inbox. Now, here's something you can start doing right away. Get your clients to whitelist your email address. Whitelisting is like getting a VIP access to someone's inbox. When a client whitelists your email, they're telling their email provider, hey, I know this person, let their emails right on through. Now, I think it's probably pretty obvious, but just in case, why is whitelisting important? It is a key method for communication for business owners. Excuse me. Email is a key method for communication for business owners. So, of course, you want your emails to get to your client's inbox. Your emails often contain session booking confirmations, preparation tips for the photography session, online gallery links, print delivery information. And if these emails end up in a spam folder, it can lead to missed appointments, unprepared clients, and frustration on both sides. Whitelisting helps ensure that your email messages reach your clients' inboxes. There are a lot of different email providers. Some of the common ones that at least that I see the most are, well, I'm gonna share 4 of them and how you would actually whitelist an email address. So let's say it's my email address, jim@landersphotoschool.com. If I were to send you an email and you notice that it wound up in your spam folder, then find the email, drag it to let's say if you're in Gmail, drag it to the primary tab or or click more, that kebab menu, also known as the 3 dots menu, and it might be a 3 vertical lines menu, whichever it is. Also known as that would be also known as the hamburger menu. It's an icon used to open a menu with additional options. And I want you to select mark as important. Now that's for Gmail. And then add my email to your contacts in Gmail. Now, if you are a Yahoo user, gosh, Yahoo is the worst. I always have difficulty sending to Yahoo. I say always, often, way more than anyone else. So with Yahoo, open your Yahoo Mail, check your spam junk folder for our emails. If you find them there, select that email and click not spam. And then hover over the sender's name and click add to contacts. There's also another popular one is Hotmail. Another popular one is Apple Mail. So they're all pretty similar. In my handout, I have a list of all the ways of all of these to be able to whitelist someone. And I do recommend that you check your spam folder, your own spam folder often. I check mine every day, and it's kind of rare that I don't find something in my spam folder that shouldn't have been in my spam folder. Now, I do have access. I know the owner of my email company, and so I do have access to that level of email, so I can check that and my own spam folder. And not a lot of stuff actually winds up in my spam folder locally, but in the email provider there is a lot. But that would be one that everyone would have access to. All right, so let's talk about how to communicate whitelisting to your clients, giving instructions. And so I'm going to give you a couple of effective ways to encourage clients to whitelist your email. And by the way, if you think I'm spending a lot of time with whitelisting, I am doing that on purpose. This is one of the most important things to understand and to do something about that will make the most major positive change in your email deliverability. So, in a welcome email that you send out, Include whitelisting instructions in your initial email. So even if it winds up in their spam folder, they see what steps they need to take in order to stop it from happening again, because you do have control. Anything that winds up in your spam folder, you can whitelist so it doesn't go there the next time. It's up to you. It's a choice. Here's an example. To ensure you receive all important information about your portrait session, please add my email that I use to your contacts list. Does that make sense? And then I would enter in the specific instructions for their email. But if I'm doing an email blast, I would send out the list of them. So the Yahoo and Gmail and Outlook and Apple Mail, I would have that there as in the list in the welcome email. I wouldn't do that on all of them. I would have a shortened version in the rest. This simple step will help us stay connected throughout your portrait experience. On your website, add a section to your frequently asked questions page, or a page that shares what to do next or what to expect. Here's an example question. How do I make sure I receive all emails about my portrait session? Booking confirmation. Include a reminder in your booking confirmation. So if you allow online booking, and for those of you who do mini sessions, you probably do, that page that it goes to next, tell them that you have sent them a confirmation email. And if you don't see it in your inbox, go to your spam folder and whitelist it and tell them how. So here's the example. It could be something like tip. Add Jim at Landers Photography to your contacts to ensure you receive all details about your upcoming session. Now, of course, you want to also do a verbal reminder. Mention it during your initial client consultation. You could say something like, I'll be sending you some important information via email. To make sure you don't miss anything, could you please add my email address to your contacts? And that would be your contacts in your email app. If you keep all your contacts in an Excel file, that won't change anything. It has to be in your email app. Social media. Every once in a while, share periodic reminders on your social media platforms. So you could be saying something like, quick tip for Landers Photography clients. Add Jim at landersphotography.com to your contacts to stay updated on your portrait session details. Hashtag photography tips. You could even make a video tutorial. You could make an infographic. Consider making either a short video or a tutorial or an infographic or both that visually explains whitelisting and its importance. And then you share this on your website. You share this periodically on your social media, and you share it on your email campaigns. The key is to make it easy. So you're going to provide clear, simple instructions and explain why it's important. People need the why in order to take action. We all need the why in order to take action. All right. Make sure to click that like button each time you hear something you like. By the way, if you're watching via a cell phone, you can watch it just in the feed. But if you click on, well, right now, my face, then it opens up to full view. And that makes it where you can click like and love as many times as you want. If you're just watching it on the as you scroll, then it'll only allow you to do that one time. And if you're watching me on your computer, then well, it only allows you to do it once. But hit that like button, hit that love button every time you hear something that you think sounds interesting. This implementing these strategies, the technical setup, the encouraging the whitelisting, and proactively educating your clients, these things significantly improve your email deliverability. This means more of your beautiful images and important messages will reach your client's eyes, leading to better communication and happy clients. Chapter 3. This is your implementation guide for email marketing strategies. I'm going to break this down into three parts. First is quick start actions that you can do right away, then long term strategies that you might implement over time, and tips for monitoring your progress and your process. I'm going to give you four quick start actions for immediate improvement. These four actions can be implemented quickly and will start improving your email deliverability right away. I want you to optimize your inquiry form process. Now, if you don't have an inquiry form on your website, maybe you don't have a website, but if you don't have an inquiry form, there's a couple of things I want you to think about. I want you to evaluate your current process. What is it that you do to bring people in, or allow them to raise their hand, let you know that they exist? So that may be they call you via phone, maybe they send you an email, maybe they reach out to you via social media. Then I want you to research and select a tool to create an online inquiry form. This could be something like Google Forms, Typeform. This could be your website's built-in tools, which in most cases that's probably what it's going to be. Number three, design and set up your inquiry form. Number four, draft messaging for the form, including email input field and confirmation page. Might even want to include cell phone, but we'll come to that. Implement the form. Number five, implement the form on your website or chosen platform. And then number six, test the form to ensure proper functionality. For those with an existing form, near the email input field, add a prominent message like, please check your spam junk folder for our response if you don't see it in your inbox, and whitelist our email to ensure you receive our future communications. I would also, if you know how to do this, or if you don't, ask someone, create a hover over. That's when you hover over the word whitelist. It can be hovered over any word, but you hover over the word whitelist, and a little box pops up to give you the definition and some brief steps. It doesn't need to be short or people won't read it. On the confirmation page, include a note such as, thank you for your inquiry. If you don't see our email in your inbox, please check your spam, junk, or promotions folder for our response, especially if you use Yahoo. Add us to your contacts to ensure our emails reach your inbox, and then test the updated form to make sure it's working as you intend. Number two, set up automated email response. In the subject line, use a clear line like, thank you for your inquiry, important next steps. Your portrait session inquiry, important next steps, something like that. The email message content, include a reminder, including whatever it is that you wanted to include in that email, but also include a reminder to check spam, junk, and promotions folders and whitelist your email address. Example, something that you could say is, thank you for inquiring about a portrait session with Landers Photography. To ensure you receive important information about your upcoming session, please add jim@landersphotography.com to your contacts and check your spam folder if you don't see our follow-up email within 10 minutes. Number three, implement website notifications. You could do a pop-up or a banner. Consider adding either a pop-up or a banner on the contact inquiry page, or place a subtle site-wide banner reminding visitors to whitelist your email addresses. On that, you could say something like, excited to capture your special moments. To ensure you receive all the details about your portrait session, please add jim@landersphotography.com to our contacts after submitting your inquiry. Now, if you don't have a website, I do recommend having a website. It's one of the things that people use to judge you. Now, does everybody do that? No. But why eliminate those people who do? They're good people. Everybody's good people until they prove otherwise. For if you don't have a website though, start off by evaluating the need, the purpose, and the direction of your professional website. Research website building options. And then number three, set up a basic website with essential information about your portrait services. And number four, design and implement a notification about your email on your new website. The last thing in the quick start actions, update your email signature. Add a short line about whitelisting to your email signature. If this is resonating with you today, will you go over to the comments section and just say yes? Just say yes. By the way, if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you're watching live right now. Now, I've got some long term strategies that I wanted to share with you. The first is create client education content. It could be a blog post, writing a blog post explaining email filtering and whitelisting. Add a line to your email signature about whitelisting as well. Another example would be you could create a post that's titled 5 tips to ensure you don't miss important updates about your portrait session. In your frequently asked questions page, add a section that is talking about email communication, explaining the importance of checking spam folders and whitelisting your email. And about different engagement incentives. So, in order to cause them to actually do something with the email once they receive it, so I want you to encourage this engagement, the clicking of the emails, by offering small incentives. It could be a discount code for replying or clicking on a link in your email. Maybe you have a free report, so that causes them to click on your email. You want to do something that causes them to engage with your email. Maybe you throw in some kind of an Easter egg in every email, that there's somewhere in it something cool, something fun that they have to find. Engaged recipients are less likely to have your emails marked as spam. Social media reminders, periodic tips, and I recommend that you schedule and automate this process, but use social media to share tips about checking spam folders and whitelisting, amongst the other many other things that you use your social media for. Here's an example post. Did you know? Adding your photographer's email to your contacts helps to ensure you won't miss any details about your upcoming portrait session. Hashtag photography tips, hashtag client communication. Number three, implement personal follow up calls. Yep, get on the phone and call them, especially your high value inquiries. Consider adding a cell phone field so you can make a quick phone call to ensure the client received your email. Here's an example script of what you might say when you call them. Hi, Jennifer. This is Jim Landers from Landers Photography. I'm just making a quick call to make sure you received our email about your upcoming portrait session and to see if you have any questions. That might be something I'd say. It depends on the reason why I'm calling, but that could be one of them. Additional considerations, ongoing. I want you to monitor effectiveness of uh, of the implemented strategies. I want you to regularly update the client education content, continue social media reminders using automation, of course, refine personal follow-up process based on client feedback. Here's a list of things, a checklist for tracking your progress. Current inquiry process evaluated, inquiry form created or optimized with appropriate messaging, automated email response set up and tested, website created or updated with email communication notification, educational content created and published, blog posts, social media services or series, social media reminder campaign launched, personal follow up process established, and a script written. monitoring system in place to track email deliverability. Now, whatever your email program is, it probably has that, but you could look at something like MailChimp or HubSpot. And then, of course, test your emails periodically to make sure at different email providers like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, to ensure your emails aren't being flagged as spam. Adjust your email content and settings based on what you find. Schedule uh, I want you to schedule for regular review and update of your strategies. And when I say schedule, I mean put it on your calendar. So maybe you only do this 2 to 4 times a year, but add it to your calendar because successful implementation is about adaptability and consistent refinement. So it's becoming aware and then making changes as needed. So regularly review your progress and adjust your strategies based on results and client feedback. The steps and processes may need to be adjusted based on your current business setup and your resources, what you have available. All right. I want you to go to the comments and share your thoughts on this, something that you've done in this regard to help out your email deliverability or ask questions. Let's see. Glad to see you guys here. I'm gonna do a quick shout out for some. I'm gonna do like four because I have a lot of information. So hey Wesley, glad you're here, and Robert, glad you're here. Let's see. I've got Robin, I've got Brent and Jeff, Orlando, a whole bunch more. I'm sorry if I didn't say your name. There's a bunch of you here today, and I'm really really glad to see that. Of course. All right. So next section is chapter 4. Crafting emails that get opened and drive action. All right, fellow Lens legends, we've covered how to get your emails to the inbox. Now, let's talk about making sure they get opened and acted upon. After all, what good is reaching the inbox if your email just sits there, right? Here's some best practices for your subject line. Your subject line is like the cover of a book. It's what makes people want to open it. So keep it short and sweet. 40 characters or less should be your goal. If you have to go more, then you have to go more, but make it short. Remember that many people check emails on mobile devices, which means limited screen space. So they're not going to see the long ones, especially if the important part of the long one is beyond that space that the mobile device gives. Second thing is personalization. Include the recipient's name or reference their session. For example, your client's name is Sarah in this instance. Sarah, your portrait uh, information is uh, included in this email. So you're saying her name and then telling her what is in this. Number 3, create a sense of urgency. Now, you can move right over it to being spammy, and if you go too far, you can actually break laws, the Can Spam Act law, the Can Spam Act. If you are saying things that are exaggerated or uh, deceptive, you break those laws, and you do not want to break Can Spam Act laws. It's like 25,000 bucks or something each time you break their rules. So yeah, you don't want to do that. I'll give you the address later today in this lesson. Instead of the word urgent, maybe you can write open now. You can try your gallery expires in 3 days, something that causes them to realize this is urgent. Number 4, avoid spam trigger words. I mentioned I was going to say this earlier, but words like free, congratulations, or urgent can trigger spam filters. They don't always. So use them sparingly, use them wisely. I'm not saying never use them, It may be the exact right word that you need for this, but think it through. Make sure that's the word that you need. Number 5, use the power of curiosity. Here is something that's going to get your client to open it up immediately. The unexpected star of your family portrait. Yeah, it's going to make them want to open it up and find out what the heck is Jim talking about. I want to point out something though. The average amount of time that someone looks at their emails once they've opened it is 9 seconds. According to litmus.com and other sources that all referenced Litmus, the average attention span for reading emails has significantly decreased in the last few years. It was 13.4 seconds, not an impressive amount of time in 2018, but now it's just 9 seconds. The distribution of attention spans is also notable because 30% of those spent less than 2 seconds of attention. 41% get between 2 seconds and 8 seconds, and only 29% of the people who are opening emails are getting to that full 9 seconds. This trend highlights how important it is to capture attention quickly, ideally conveying the core message within the first seconds, or you're risking losing the reader's interest. Hope that makes sense. Now, you might have known that already, but maybe you didn't know why. So hopefully I've added a little something into your knowledge base with that little piece of interesting, I think, trivia. Now, as far as the content, the body of your messages, of your email, once they've opened the email, you want to give them engaged and you want to get them engaged and you want to cause them to do something. You want to give a CTA, a call to action that causes them to do something right now. Your opening line should be a compelling subject line. So get to the point quickly. The next thing, personalization beyond the name. Reference their specific session or preferences. I remember you mentioned loving outdoor images. Number 3, keep it concise. People do skim your emails. Have you heard of a dual readership path? That's where you have some things that are highlighted or bold so that those who just skim emails can look through that, or maybe you have some bullet points where they look at just those things, but give people who do skim an easy way to find out what it is you do. So use short paragraphs, bullet points, clear headings, and then, of course, a clear call to action. A CTA is what you'll hear it referred to as most of the time. What do you want them to do? You're not just sending an email for no reason. What do you want them to do? They need to understand what it is that you want to do. You got to make it easy. You've got to make it obvious. View your gallery now. Book your next session by clicking this link today. Let's also talk about some design considerations so that you have better deliverability and engagement. The first is simple as better. Too many images or complex HTML trigger spam folders. Stay away from mobile optimization. According to litmus.com, again, their email clients 2023 report, market share report, 40% of emails are opened on a mobile device. I think it was 41 or 42.3%. So if it doesn't look good on a phone, it might not get read. Number 3, balance text and images. So you're aiming for good text to image ratio. For some filters, emails with too many images may be flagged as spam. Number 4, used alt text for images. If you don't know what alt text is, this is short for alternative text, but it's a brief description of an image that appears in place of an image if it fails to load, or if it's read by screen readers. It's read by screen readers for visually impaired users. So this is something you also do on websites. I'm going to give you 9 extra tips. I'm going to go through them kind of quickly, though. The from name matters. Using a person's name, like Jim from Landers Photography, often performs better than just a company name. The second is leverage pre header text. That snippet of text after the subject line, not all email programs actually give you access to that, but many do. Use it wisely to complement your subject line and entice opens. Number three, timing does make a difference, but it's something you're going to have to test in order to make it work. And so, many people would say mornings between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Tend to get the most opens, but don't take my word for it or anybody else's word for it. Test what works best for your audience. Number four, warm up your email reputation. If you're starting out or switching email providers, don't send out every single email you have access to. If you've got 4,000 emails, don't send it out the first time. Gradually increase your sending volume over time. Think of it as like building credit. Start small, build trust. Now, years ago, you could, enter in your entire email list and be fine with that. Those days are long, long gone. Number five, consistent email frequency. Establish a consistent schedule for sending emails, whether it's a monthly newsletter, a weekly newsletter, or regular updates. Consistently helps build trust with both clients and email providers. It causes your emails to become expected for both your client and email providers. Number six, avoid sudden spikes. So if you suddenly send out a large volume of emails in a short period of time, this is going to trigger spam filters. So gradually increase your sending frequency if that's something that you feel you need. Don't just all of a sudden do it. Now, what does that mean? It means don't send out 10 in a day. It doesn't mean you can't send out 2 in a week. Number seven, double opt in. Use a double opt-in process where clients must confirm their emails in order in order to receive it, in order to know about it, because this reduces the chance of your emails being marked as spam because the client has actively agreed to receive them. Number eight, a compliance check. Regularly review your email practices to ensure compliance with regulations like the Can Spam Act or the GDPR if you're sending your emails to the EU. This includes having clear opt-out options, accurate sender information, and avoiding misleading subject lines. Privacy policy number 9. Ensure your website's privacy policy is up to date and clearly outlines how you handle email addresses and personal data. It's probably clear at this point, but I'll say it anyway. Crafting great emails is part science and part art. We have the creative side down. We probably need some help on the science part. What works for one, though, might not work for another. The key is to know these best practices and then test and refine them based on your unique audience. By focusing on the compelling subject line, the valuable content, and a mobile-friendly design, you'll create emails that not only land in the inbox, but are opened, read, and acted upon. That, Lens Legends, is how you turn email into a powerful tool for your photography business. Now we're almost done. Just the closing thoughts are left. Take a moment and put in the comments one takeaway from today's training. I mean, I love hearing how this is helping you or how you think you might implement it. It could be just as simple as thanks, Jim. I'll get right to work. I like thank you messages. I like likes. I like loves. I like all that stuff, of course. But I'd sure like to hear at least one takeaway. Now, the handout. And I hope that you know that I create a handout for every single one of these weekly lessons. I'm going to load the QR code and I want it to be small. Let's see. If you would like today's handout, that's the address for it. It's just $10. It's always $10. And in fact, if you want some from the past, just send me an email, jim@landersphotoschool.com. And if I haven't responded within 24 hours, it didn't wind up in my email inbox or my spam folder. It got stopped somewhere before that, which is a thing. So if you don't hear a response from me within 24 hours, chances are I didn't receive it. So send it again or send it to jim@landersphotography.com. Change the email address you're sending it to. But again, it's just $5. You can use that QR code to help you, but it's the handout for today's lesson. It is how many pages long? It's 20 pages long. So there's a lot, and there's a lot more than what I shared. This is only about a 50-minute program, an hour total, and so therefore I have I don't include everything that I've written because it would go way over time. So there is how you get that. Closing thoughts. All right, Lens Legends. We've covered a lot of ground today, and quickly. Let's take a moment to recap the key takeaways from our journey through the world of email deliverability. That's not quite as simple as that. We now understand that hitting send is just the beginning of a complex journey for our emails. Technical foundations. Remember these acronyms SPF, DKIM, and DMARC? Well, they're your email's best friends for getting past those pesky email filters, spam filters. Number 3, the power of whitelisting, encouraging your clients to add you to their contact list. It's like getting VIP pass to their inbox. And I gave you some proactive strategies from optimizing your inquiry forms to setting up automated responses. We've got a toolbox full of tools to improve deliverability. Number 5, crafting compelling emails. We've learned that a great subject line, valuable content, and mobile friendly design are key to not just reaching their inbox, but to get them opened and acted upon. Now, I know all this stuff may seem like a lot. You may be thinking, Jim, this is too much. I just want to be a photographer. And you're right. This is a lot. But here's the thing, you don't have to do it all at once. Start small. Do the 4 things I mentioned in the quick actions, the quick start actions in chapter 3. Then pick 1 or 2 strategies we discussed today and implement them sometime later this week. Then next week, try another. Every email that lands in an inbox instead of a spam folder is another opportunity to showcase your amazing work, to build a relationship with a client, to book that next session, and to grow. You're not just improving email deliverability, you're growing your business. And hey, I hope you're aware that we're in this together. If you have questions as you start implementing these strategies, or if you run into challenges along the way, I am here. I am a resource. You can see down in the bottom corner of the screen, I'm your guide on the business side. You can ask questions on my social media. I'll put that up. And those are the Portrait Profits social media options. But if you just enter in Landers Photography School in place of Portrait Profits, you'll get Landers Photography School. So you can go to my social media, or you can reach me at jim@landersphotoschool.com. Your heartfelt messages deserve to be seen. And now you have the tools to make sure that they will be. Go make some inbox magic happen. I can't wait to hear about your success stories. I hope this has been fun. I hope this has been exciting, maybe parts of it, but a lot of it is the technical side. So hard to get excited about that. But I'm glad you're here with me today. Now, I've got a few announcements. I've got one announcement of a class later this week. And I'm going to tell you what the upcoming uh, lessons are for the Portrait Profit Show. But let's start off with this first announcement. And let me bring the image on the screen. I thought I had it handy. Maybe I don't. All right. Well, I can get it easily. So I'm going to tell you about the. I guess I didn't upload that, but I sure can quickly. So on Thursday, I'm going to be here at the co-working studios. And let me put the text on about that as well. I'm going to be there, but I'm not going to be the one teaching because someone else who's really good about this subject is going to be. This is Jeff Truitt, and he is going to be sharing about SEO for photographers. So, do you want to get your website noticed? I mean, that's what's going to cause your email list to grow. That's what's going to cause you to have more business. So, he's going to talk about search engine optimization because it's the secret to making these things happen. He's going to unlock the SEO secret weapon for photographers. One word could skyrocket your visibility. So you're going to learn how to dominate search results and boost your business. This is an in-person and session. It's not being done online. It's a one-time thing. There are only 14 spots available, so don't miss out. It's just $20 and you can bring a guest for free. Now you need to tell us that you are going to be bringing a guest so I can reduce the number of spots available. But it's only 20 and you may bring someone for free. Bring them with you. So that is the let me put on I guess that is it. So there's the link to it right there. The square.link /u LHGLQW01. You know what? That first one's an I. That's interesting. I'm going to say that one more time because that last part is not exactly what it seems. That first letter after the U / is an IHG. IHGLQW01. All right. That again is this Thursday, 10 a.m. at the co-working studios. Now, as you know, we have the Portrait Profit Show every single Monday at noon. Now, we do make one exception on the second Monday of each month. We do it at 6:30 in the evening and we bring on panelists. But as you are well aware, at least I hope that you're well aware, we do the Portrait Profit Show every single Monday. And the upcoming show, 1 week from today, September 23rd at noon, is marketing and visibility for photographers. You're going to transform your online presence into a magnet for potential clients, where every post, every image, and every interaction builds your brand and boosts your business. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality, and many successful photographers have achieved it. And so can you. 1 week after that, we're going to be doing, uh, and I need to bring that one up, September 30th at noon. We're going to be doing 10 steps to an effective promotional campaign. And let me bring that one up on the screen so you can see the show graphic. There it is. Maximize your marketing impact. Uncover the 10 essential steps for promotions that attract, engage, and convert. Turn your next marketing campaign into a client magnet. And that is on September 30th. On October 7th at noon, building a future together. Managing business dynamics with your spouse. Now, not everyone works with their spouse. Some do in small ways, some do in big ways. I work with my wife and have for years, many years. Running a business with your spouse can be incredibly rewarding, but it can also bring unexpected challenges that test your relationship. Mm. So, join us as we share practical strategies to help you and your partner build a thriving business and maintain a healthy relationship, both in business and in life. And then on October 14th, we're going to be doing couples in business that evening because that's the second Monday of October, the 14th, 6:30 in the evening, a panel discussion on couples in business. So you get to hear instead of just one, usually we have three individuals. Now we'll have three couples who will be sharing their stories and how they work together. October 14th. Man, put these things on your calendar. Don't miss these. These are good. We're putting a lot of work into these. I want to see you there. And October 21st at noon, good versus right, your keys to success. And then on October 28th, tame the wedding photography beast. We've got a lot of stuff coming up for you guys. Put it on your calendar. I hope to see you then. I want to thank you, Lens Legends, for being here for show number 185. I encourage you to like and to share the Portrait Profit Show. And of course, tune in to our next live stream a week from today at noon. Keep learning, keep experimenting, keep creating, and keep having fun. Lens Legends, you're making beautiful images, but that's not all you're making. You're making an impact on everyone around you. Some you don't even know and may never know. So, as we end another show, I hope that the ideas and strategies we've explored today have resonated with you so you're able to move forward with confidence. I hope that you draw strength from the community of passionate photographers who've walked this path before you and who are walking it with you now, learning and growing with each step. The world is waiting for your unique vision and your ability to touch lives through the power of portraiture. Trust in your talents, believe in the impact you can make, and let your light shine brightly. Seize today as an opportunity to let your passion soar and make the world a more beautiful place, one portrait at a time. Thank you for your time and attention here today, and thank you for the efforts that you make each day to be such an amazing portrait photographer. Together, we help each other achieve our goals and make a difference in the world through our passion for portrait photography. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show. And I just realized I've been left that up. So until next time, Lens Legends, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep making your long-lasting mark on the world. I look forward to watching you grow. I appreciate you guys. Bye for now.